2, 5, go! I was there in the backstage.
Are we going?
Yes?
Yes.
I'm waiting for the green light. Oh, there's a green light. Hey, welcome to the PGL Lobbycast, the official podcast for PreGameLobby.com. This is episode 282, and this is recorded on July 19th. I am Sam, joined always by...
Geoff.
That's right. And today we're going to start off with some Emmy nominations this year. We're going to highlight some Emmy nominations.
Highlights.
Yeah.
Yes.
I can do all of them. Geoff, you want to get started with the first one that jumps out?
Oh, I have not even looked at this list.
No.
Fire away. I printed it out, handed it to you.
All right. We really need a break here. You really need us to lead us through this quagmire of information. Best comedy series. Looks like a lot of the usual ones you normally see. Big Bang Theory, Louie, Modern Family, Orange is the New Black, which I feel is kind of new-ish to this list. Silicon Valley, which is definitely new, and Veep, which...
I think Brick watches most of those.
Yeah. I watched 0 of those.
I watched 2 of them. Ha-ha!
There you go. All right. So, Geoff, if you were going to say who's the best actress or actor in a comedy series, who would you choose out of that list? Out of these lists?
Out of that list, probably Amy Poehler.
Yeah, she's awesome. Parks and Rec. Ricky Gervais for Derek, which is kind of an interesting one because it's not always funny, but I really enjoy that show.
I think I've seen 1 episode of it.
Yeah, it's 2 seasons. Each one's 6 episodes long. Typical BBC shenanigans. But really good stuff there.
Yeah.
Of course, people from Big Bang Theory and all that nonsense that always gets...
A bunch of nonsense in there.
Yeah. Yeah, bye. Skipping on down to Best Drama Series, Breaking Bad. Now here's a list of things I've seen. Breaking Bad, Downton Abbey, have not seen. Game of Thrones, House of Cards, Mad Men, True Detective.
Excellent.
That is an all-star lineup right there.
Yeah, it really is. And I think I heard that Game of Thrones got 16 or 17 nominations this time.
Oh, wow. Rightfully so.
Quite a few.
I really, loved House of Cards. I feel like House of Cards and Game of Thrones could be like that Mad Men Breaking Bad thing where Mad Men's really good, but it always plays second fiddle to Breaking Bad. So
yeah.
House of Cards can be doing the same thing with Game of Thrones.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm trying to think. And I still haven't watched any of True Detective. I'm at least a season behind on Mad Men.
Yeah.
I will say that. I really don't know where I'm...
It's in the 60s, maybe? I don't know.
I have no idea.
Let's see. Best Actress and Actor in Drama Series. Claire Danes, Homeland.
Let's just go ahead and give it to her.
Yeah. Done deal. Robin Wright, House of Cards also is great.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, she is pretty awesome.
Best Actor, Bryan Cranston, Breaking Bad, of course. John Hamm, Mad Men. Woody Harrelson and Matthew McConaughey for True Detective. Kevin Spacey, House of Cards. Oh, yeah.
That's a tough one.
That is a tough one. I haven't seen Jeff Daniels in the newsroom. Brick raves about that show from time to time. Boy, Kevin Spacey's really good in House of Cards. Have you seen season 2 yet?
I have not seen season 2 yet.
Oh, my God.
Out
of all the shows I've watched and all the crazy things in Game of Thrones, I think one of the most shocking scenes I've seen this year was from House of Cards.
Really?
That says a lot, because Game of Thrones was insane this year.
Okay.
Insane.
I'll have to get to it.
You will.
And I'll have to start watching True Detective, and I'll have to catch up on Mad Men, and I'll have to catch up on Boardwalk Empire. Also, I'm a season behind on that.
Same here. Good Lord. Let's see. Next on our list here, best miniseries or movie: American Horror Story, Coven.
Oh, I forget that they classify that as a miniseries.
Right, not like a TV, because each season's a different setting and cast and.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Let's see what else. Bonnie and Clyde, Fargo. I've heard good things about.
Yeah, Fargo is probably my pick off of that list.
Luther, Treme, which I'm shocked to hear that is still going on.
I had no idea it was still going on.
Me neither. I thought it ran its course. And The White Queen.
I like The White Queen. Fargo's better.
Yeah, you've said good things about that.
But The White Queen's good.
Let's see what else. Best actor and actress in miniseries or movies. A lot of stuff I haven't seen.
So we'll probably go ahead and give Jessica Lange it for American Horror Story Coven. And for Best Actor in a Miniseries or Movie...
Maybe Benedict Cumberbatch, Sherlock? His last...
Ooh.
Because I've heard great things about that show, too.
It is really good. But you almost give it to Billy Bob Thornton for Fargo.
I've heard good things.
Or Idris Elba for Luther. That's a good show, too. So, I don't know.
Another mini all-star lineup. Outstanding animated program. Some good ones here. Archer, Bob's Burgers, Futurama. Is that canceled again? I have no idea.
I didn't know that was still a thing.
I didn't either. South Park, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, The Manhattan Project. Gotta give it to Archer.
Yeah, probably.
All right, I don't know. South Park's always good.
That's true. But as far as... let's see here. Yeah, Futurama goes. It got renewed. I watched one episode, and then I was done.
All right.
I'm like, right.
I'll wait till it gets renewed again, see if there's any changes, and then watch one episode.
Right.
Outstanding host in a reality competition program is the dumbest category I've ever heard of.
So we'll just give it to Kat Deely for So You Think You Can Dance. How about that?
Sure.
Anthony Bourdain.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, we'll give it to him.
Reality competition program.
Yeah.
That's
We can
nonsense.
skip the reality stuff.
Variety series, Colbert Report, The Daily Show, Jimmy Kimmel Live, Real Time with Bill Maher, Saturday Night Live, and Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon.
Jimmy Fallon's pretty good.
Oh, no Dave Letterman, I guess.
Nope.
That's really kind of the only one that's, of the late night talk shows.
Yeah.
Let's see. Sure, we can skip that. Outstanding guest actor in a drama, or outstanding guest actress in a drama?
Yeah, probably not.
Yeah, we can skip.
We can skip that too. I mean, not that those guys don't.
Guest actor in a comedy series.
Nope.
Bob Newhart. That sounds like. I bet you that's funny. Oh, Steve Buscemi in Portlandia. I actually just saw that recently. That was pretty funny. Oh, they have a lot of hosts for Saturday Night Live. It's nonsense.
Yeah.
And there we go.
Okay.
There you go. Your 2014 Emmy nomination.
The ones that we deem worth noting.
That's right.
There you go. We skipped over the rest.
If you don't agree with us, you can look up the rest yourself.
That's true. That's true. Or, next time Brick's on the show, I'm sure he'll still be talking about them.
He's probably listening to this right now going, oh my God, I can't believe you didn't mention best technical choreography scene by a left-handed person. I don't know.
Yeah, today's show should have been hosted by Brick and Blaine.
Yeah, really.
And not Geoff and Sam.
We are clueless.
But you can pretty much say that about any episode.
Yeah. Or any topic we talk about.
That's true. That is true. All right, one other little bit of news here. Xbox has released their list of new features for the August update, and there's some pretty good ones in here. You'll have a new and improved activity feed, like what your friends are up to, and you'll be able to scroll down further through them. They'll be a little bit better organized, and then you can also now you will also be able to like and comment on activity things, like just like your Facebook activity feed.
Yeah.
So
somebody,
and you can share stuff. So that's pretty cool. People will like that because people use Facebook.
Yeah.
And this kind of like that.
I wish this was around when I got the Mile High achievement for Call of Duty 4. Because I was so excited to finally get that.
I would tell everybody like 20 times. 20 times. Right. And they've got an expanded friends area. It's same kind of deal. It's actually on the home screen.
Okay.
So you can tab over to it rather than having to use the app.
I gotcha.
To get there. Mobile purchase. So if you have your Xbox set up for standby downloads, background downloads, that kind of thing, then you can go on Xbox.com or Smart Glass on your phone and download things, and your Xbox will come on enough to do the download. So whatever you get on the website or on Smart Glass will be ready to play.
Queue it up, like
whenever
you're away from your system.
Yeah, if you're at work.
A neat feature that was on the 360 like 5 years ago, but it's great to have it.
Well, actually, all you could do was add it to your queue.
Yeah, it wouldn't do it right
until
then.
you
Until
it turned the system on.
Right.
Now, if you left your Xbox on all the time, it'd be ready to go. But so the Xbox in the standby mode will download the content, download and install whatever that you purchase while you're away.
That's very cool.
That is very cool.
Yeah.
Even if you are in your bedroom and queue it up for play in your living room. So for something the Xbox 360 has had for a long time, low battery notification. If you're getting low on your controller, then it'll give you a heads up whenever you're at critically low battery life, so that you aren't playing and have it cut out on you.
Quick question: do you have the play and charge kit for the Xbox One controller?
I do.
You like it?
Yes.
Solid?
It's fine.
Okay.
All it is a it's a chargeable battery, obviously, but you just use a regular micro USB.
Okay.
Or it's the same one that charges my phone.
Oh, gotcha.
So, which is kind of handy because those cords, I have several of those cords around the house
somewhere.
Yeah. Disable notifications during video. This is also something that the 360 has done. It's a good thing for them to do. They've enabled 3D Blu-ray for the Blu-ray player on the Xbox One, and they've added the one guide for Brazil, Mexico, Austria, and Ireland, and then last time seen in the friends list. So, which is also something the 360 does. You can tell the last time that a friend is logged on.
Right.
So,
very cool.
Not a huge list of updates, but a pretty good one.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean,
should be rolling out pretty soon.
As close as they can get their current gen system to their last gen system, that'd be awesome.
I did notice, I don't know how long this has been up, but I can finally stream video from my computer to my Xbox One. I didn't know.
Since when?
I don't know. I just noticed it less than a month ago.
I haven't been able to do that.
Oh, really? Your Xbox One on, but your Xbox One definitely has to be on to do it.
Right. So where do you
just right click play to, and instead of 360, there's a whatever you've named your Xbox One. So mine comes up as like LED
so you're
South
doing it.
HQ
You do it from your PC.
Yeah.
Okay. See, I've been looking to be able to browse from the Xbox One.
Oh, I gotcha.
Browse your network and find video that way.
That would be cool.
Yeah, that would also be cool.
Don't have to walk from Xbox One to computer, start it up, and then walk back.
Yeah. Being able to browse with the remote from your Xbox One would be better. Supposedly, we'll get a Plex Media Server app for the Xbox One at some point this year.
Oh, okay.
Which is what I use to stream TV shows through the network.
Gotcha.
On my 360. Haha. It'd be a nice thing to have for my Xbox One, because that's the reason why my Xbox One is hardly ever on. And also because it does not play CivRev.
Yeah. And there's really no games for it.
I've got games for it. I just,
Yeah. No, I'm the same way.
With the exception of Titanfall, they're sequels to games that I've already played 1,000 times. So
yeah,
I just need my CivRev, Sam.
That's right.
Is that so wrong?
It's not.
I need Firaxis to go ahead and put together something like that.
Yeah, now they did, or somebody made the CivRev 2 for the iPhone. Civilization Revolution 2 iPhone. Yeah, it's out, Jeff, for iPhones and iPhones only.
Not iPads?
No,
maybe?
Probably.
Interesting. If it worked, it might be worth it, like buying an old, decrepit original iPad just to play CivRev on.
That would be cool. Yeah.
Jerks. Sorry. Well, let's go ahead and get into the Weekly Whatchas.
Oh, I had one other bit of news. I thought it was
what do you have?
Interesting. It's a little. It's the top 5 MMOs for last year.
So
maybe it was this year.
Does it include Elder Scrolls Online?
It does not in the top 5.
So it's probably last
Probably
year.
last year. So can you guess any of the titles in the top 5?
Maybe one of the EverQuests.
No.
Lord of the Rings Online.
Lord of the Rings Online 5th, $104 million.
World of Warcraft.
World of Warcraft first, slightly over $1 billion and a 36% market share.
No, I got nothing for the rest of them.
Two of them I'm not familiar with. Lineage was second, 253 million. Terra Online, 236 million was third, and then fourth was Star Wars: The Old Republic.
Oh,
65 million.
All right. So Star Wars. I'm familiar with all of them, but I haven't played. I don't think I've played Lineage.
Yeah.
Or Terra. What is it?
Terra Online.
Terra Online. No.
I think EVE Online was maybe 6 on this list. I didn't write it down.
Oh, okay.
Interesting. Revenue from subscriptions has dropped every year since 2010, from 30 million to 23 million. But in-game transactions almost doubled in the last 5 years.
Well, that makes sense because a lot of them are going to the free-to-play model, where microtransactions rule the day. So that's how. Well, I think Lord of the Rings Online still has a subscription attached, but you can play without a subscription.
Right.
And then, buy stuff.
Buy stuff. Potions.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool.
Well, that is cool. Okay, what you listening to, Sam?
I'm listening to a lot of PTI, pardon the interruption, and a lot of basketball podcasts from the BS Report to Grantland, the Low Post, because this has been a really interesting offseason in the NBA, so everyone's been waiting on pins and needles for the LeBron decision, because once that took place, everything else would fall like dominoes after that.
Sure.
Players signing here and there, but everything was kind of hinging on that one thing. So I had been listening to everything I could, and it's amazing because a podcast would come out on like a Tuesday morning. I would download it, listen to it Tuesday afternoon, and it was already fairly outdated by then because
Nice.
there's new news coming out, constantly.
And where he ended up, Cleveland?
Yeah. And
Okay.
this whole time, I've just been sitting there on Twitter, refresh, constantly.
So what are some of the other big names? Where did they end up?
After he went to Cleveland, Dwayne Wade and everybody thought Chris Bosh was going to go to Houston. He ended up re-signing with Miami, as did Dwayne Wade. Now Miami had some more cap room. They were able to bring in Luol Deng and sign him. Now that the Bulls had missed out on Carmelo Anthony, who went back to the Knicks, that freed them up to go get Pau Gasol and sign this European star, bring him over also. So there was a lot of teams waiting on one thing to happen, and as soon as it happened or didn't happen, then they could move on to plan B.
So who's in the best position for playoffs now?
Cleveland is in Vegas, Cleveland is the odds-on favorite to win the title now.
Really?
A month ago, they were 30-1. When the LeBron rumors started bouncing around, they moved to 8-1. Now they are 3-1.
Wow. Just because he's there?
Just because he's there. Think about it. When he left the last time, they were a 62-win team. When the next season after he left, they won 19 games.
Wow.
Yeah. You can talk about the value of a player. People always are going to compare LeBron and Michael Jordan. When Jordan left the Bulls,
it didn't.
They still win the playoffs. They still won 45 to 50
because they still had really good players.
Yeah, they still had a good team.
Yeah.
But you really realize how bad that Cleveland team was. Awful. It was like LeBron.
No wonder they hated him when he left.
A folding chair and a stack of papers. It was pretty much what he was playing with.
Wow.
And they won 60 games.
Fair enough.
Folding chair could really D up. Staunch defender.
He was in the way.
He was
Slow people down at least.
more than we could say about us.
Right.
Jeff and I eating sandwiches mostly.
Mostly.
That's all I've been listening to. Jeffrey, what have you been listening to?
This week, I'm listening to some Feist and some Jack White, and let's see here. Also listening to my workout music because I am out of Dan Carlin podcasts, so I'm back to listening to angry German industrial white boy music.
There you go.
So
Nothing to get the blood pumping like that.
hey, it all has a very similar rhythm to it. So, yeah, that's it for me. Let's go ahead and get into what you watching.
I have been watching, this was last night or the night before, 2 nights ago, I think. I watched our friend Hero by Clicking, also known as the Lobbycast Lou, doing his Twitch streaming of 100 Days of Gaming for Extra Life for Kids. I watched him. He's going through. He's going to play an hour a day, one game every single day, and he's got a huge Steam collection of games. So he's just going through alphabetically. And so the day I was watching, he was playing.
Nice.
It's a crazy game. You just, from what I saw, you just start at like this top of this mountain and you jump down and you try and go through all these hoops before you deploy your parachute and land on the landing pad. So
okay,
I watched him do that a few times. He not very good at sticking the landing. Usually the landing pad's like on a platform, and he seemed to miss that a lot. So I was chatting with him while he was playing. He says, "Like, if you're my pilot, I really need you to stick that landing."
No. I haven't played the game, but I'm assuming that the obstacles that he's going through are smaller than the landing pad?
No, they're
about the same size?
The same size.
Oh, okay.
But, I don't know, it's just some weird physics. As soon as you deploy your parachute, now you're not falling like in a straight line anymore.
Oh, okay.
You're falling, and then you kind of lean to the left, and you hit this marker, and you lean back to the right, and you hit that one, and
I gotcha.
Kind of stuff. Real kind of neat, real indie game. Once it looked like as you build up points in it, you were able to unlock other place to fall. Like he unlocked one and was falling through a bunch of buildings and whatnot, and
okay,
it's kind of neat. But he's got his whole like list of games he's been playing. In a couple of days, maybe a week or so, Baldur's Gate enhanced version or enhanced editions coming up. So I'm like, I'd like to check him out playing that. That might be kind of cool.
Yeah, for sure.
Big fan of that game. So I watched that. I have finished air quotes my rewatch of Breaking Bad. I've gone through. Just by myself, been rewatching the entire series. Kind of slowed down in season 5 because I've already actually watched the first half of that twice already. So
okay,
wasn't going as fast. But I had a really tough time. I got all the way up to the point where the white supremacists were about to show up in the middle of the desert.
Yeah, with
the standoff between Hank and Walt.
Right.
Because I could not stand to see Hank get shot again. And I just stop it right there. It was funny because I had been a lot of times I'll like watch these episodes in bed before I fall asleep.
Yeah.
And I got up to that point and I'm like, oh man, I just can't do it. I can't see Hank get shot again like that. So I stopped the episode, and then there's a really neat a wiki page for Breaking Bad that I'll go and check it. They have a little behind the scenes stuff. The episode comes in interesting, the little factoids and whatnot. And so I just actually went through that, and they have a neat, really detailed synopsis of each episode. I actually read the last 3 episodes without watching it, and I already know what happens and whatnot.
Right.
So kind of refresh my mind again, but I'm done.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nicely done, sir.
Yeah, it was really
on your
cool.
combination watching/reading.
Yeah. It was really kind of interesting. The first time I watched Breaking Bad, we all think Walter White's a badass. He's so cool and whatnot. Second time, he really comes off as more of kind of a dick.
Yeah.
Because now you see how many opportunities he had to get out and walk away free and clear. Because, you're still kind of rooting for him.
Yeah,
I want you to get your money and take care of your family and ride off on the sunset and live happily ever after. And he had so many opportunities, more than you think.
Oh, no. On a rewatch, you see exactly how many times he could have made better decisions.
Oh, yeah. One that sticks out in my mind is, they had already closed the case, or Hank had already closed the case, and he was convinced Gail Bedecker was Heisenberg. And then, one night at a little family dinner, Walt White had a little too much wine to drink and started mouthing off like, that Gail Bedecker, very amateurish. I've seen his books. Really incomplete, not well thought out and all this. And kind of got Hank thinking like, well, let me dig. The next day, let me dig through the files again. Let's take another look at it,
Yeah.
There were so many instances like that where
because
just walked away.
He had so much money.
Yeah.
Like most of that time.
Yeah. Yeah. You'd think, he would have had enough, but then he makes that mention about what gray matter makes in a year.
Yeah.
And he was kind of competing against that now.
which is crazy.
Which is crazy because it's just a number. What do you get? $80 million or $800 million? You got plenty of money.
You got plenty of money.
What else I've been watching? I watched recently season 4 of Portlandia, which was
season 4.
Season 4.
Wow,
awesome. Only 10 episodes. A little bit disappointed, bummed. Wanted more. Interesting side note on Portlandia. Luke, our brewer at Coda, big fan of Portlandia, and I don't know if you've ever watched any of Portlandia.
I watched the first episode.
The first episode, they have a little song, a little video called "The Spirit of the '90s is Alive in Portland," and then they did kind of a remake of it later, talking about the spirit of the 1890s was alive in Portland. And it's funny because that's the video Luke showed his designer for the whole concept of Coda, because Coda's like a real kind of a old west,
Sure.
You got the elixirs and whatnot. That's what the growlers look like. So it was kind of interesting. And then I'm about halfway through season 2 of The Americans, and I'm really digging that show.
Really?
Yeah, it's really good.
I watched probably the first 4 episodes of season 1, and I thought it was a little silly.
It didn't grab me at first, but I've really kind of come to appreciate it. They do a great job of not dinking around with side stories that have no meaning, like Homeland did, following the daughter around. I absolutely did not care one bit. They don't do that at all here. It is 100%,
main story.
Main story on the 2 spies.
Okay.
That's it for me. Jeffrey, what have you been watching?
Let's see. I watched the Kevin Costner movie, 3 Days to Kill. It was enjoyable.
Okay.
It's worth a rent from Redbox.
I gotcha.
And then Guillermo del Toro's new show, The Strain. I don't know if I'll stick with that. It's kind of a virus / new take on vampirism kind of show.
Okay.
We'll see. I mean, they had me up until they actually did the reveal of the vampire, and so it was all right. Nothing really to gush about for sure.
Right.
I'm still watching *Halt and Catch Fire*. Love that show. I don't remember the main actor's name, but he's the guy that kind of looks like John Cusack.
Okay.
Do you know who I'm talking about? Yeah. This is like how we describe other people. The guy they get when they can't get John Cusack. Or, yeah. We've got a couple of actors like that where they look kind of similar.
Right.
So, or, let's see here. Still watching a little bit of The Leftovers. I don't know. It's the new one from, I think, Damon Lindelof, one of the creators of Lost. And it really isn't catch a hold of me. So I may be done with that one. I'm definitely done with Extant, which is the new Halle Berry TV show.
Okay.
Where she returns from space pregnant after a solo mission on the space station or something along those lines. So I almost want to watch one more episode, but it won't be right away.
I got you.
Yeah, I may get back to it at some point, but I'm definitely not digging this. A show that I think you would really like is Tyrant.
Okay.
It's about this family who kind of rule in a Middle Eastern country, and the father has been a dictator in this country for a while. The eldest son has been there with him and has also become badly behaved. The younger son at 19 or so left and went to the United States, went to school there, started working there as a doctor, and has a family there and everything, and they go back for for a wedding or something like that, and things go badly. And so the younger son ends up staying and trying to help his older brother change the country. But it's pretty cool.
Okay.
Yeah, it's definitely worth watching. And then The Last Ship, I'm staying with it. for right now. Mm-hmm. And we'll see. It's interesting enough to me. I always like those spreading of the virus and finding a cure type shows. I enjoy those. True Blood is terrible. I'm so glad it's its last season. I'll finish it out. I'll finish it strong. And then the season finale of 24. I don't know if I'd seen it by this last episode or not, but glad that's over.
Yeah,
glad it's over. Yeah,
didn't like it, or I know
it was just okay. They started straying a little bit. It was only 12 episodes and had a decent enough ending. I was a little irritated on the day I was going to watch the finale. I opened up Google News, and spoiler, major character death.
Oh.
Just right there on the thing.
Thanks, Google.
Thanks, jerks. And it's actually one that, it's not that I wouldn't have seen coming. It's just, when a major character dies, you like to get the original impact of it, I guess. So
exactly.
And then I watched a very, very little bit of So You Think You Can Dance. I think I turned it on and immediately fell asleep. So I may not have seen any of it.
You've heard it in your sleep.
Maybe I heard it in my sleep. But that's about it for my watchings. What you playing, sir?
I have been playing a little Dungeon Command. Blaine and I will usually get together like on Mondays and we'll play a game or two. We tried a 3-player game. Normally you play 1-on-1 or 2-on-2. And we tried with me, Blaine, and Mike. We tried a 1-on-1-on-1, a free-for-all, and it plays out completely different because the incentive is to sit back and let the other two attack each other, and then kind of jump in there and wipe somebody out. And that as soon as one team is wiped out, you see who has the highest morale left, and it's going to be the guy that's been sitting on his butt this whole time.
Right.
So Mikey was doing that, and Blaine and I were attacking each other, and then Blaine and I kind of circled around and started attacking Mikey, and we started, kicking the crap out of him. And then it got really interesting for a different reason because Mikey was just about dead, and his morale was down to 1. Blaine and I were tied at 10. So Mikey now was going to dictate who would win. Because if he took out one of my guys, Blaine would win. If he took out one of Blaine's guys, I would win. So then I started attacking Blaine again. It just turned into a quagmire of a mess. And I think we just ended up calling it a tie at the end because feelings were going to get hurt here in a minute.
Yeah.
We played that. We also played a 2-on-2 version on a much smaller map, which we really kind of like because the game moves a lot faster. You can get around the board a lot easier. You get kind of bigger battles and whatnot. It's not so random because we don't do random treasure.
Okay.
So that was pretty cool. We played some Attack in the Darkness in Lou's campaign last week, which was a lot of fun, and we're playing pretty much. It's a mix of different rule sets, but it's really kind of based in 5th edition, and it just flows really nicely, and it's a lot easier going, kind of fun, faster paced, whatnot. So we're really enjoying that. I've also been doing. I'm really appreciative of Lou doing this campaign because it's freed me up to prepare for my next campaign.
Yeah, you've been doing a lot of writing and
doing a lot of stuff for that.
Preparing. You're with your daily updates. It's really cool.
Been playing a lot of NCAA 14, which is actually it's just amazing because 2 weeks ago or last week would have been the normal launch date for NCAA 15.
Would have been? Are they not putting out one this year?
Yeah, they're not doing it anymore because of all the litigation and problems the NCAA has had with.
Oh wow!
So 14 is the last game they'll ever do. So there's no more college games ever. So we are
no more college football. Oh, I guess
no college football.
I guess they don't do any of the other.
Yeah, I don't know
they used to do a college basketball.
I don't know if they still do it anymore.
Yeah,
but we're kind of holding on to this as long as we can. I guess.
Well, that's good because you don't have to worry about updating to the next.
Yeah.
When
all you have right now, I'm plus $60.
Yeah. All you have to worry about now is how long EA will leave their
We'll leave the
servers
server open.
going.
It's typically 2 years-ish.
Yeah.
But who knows? They might shut it down early. They might leave it open for an extended time. We'll see what happens. There's been some debate in our kind of group, a lot of PGL members, about what we do if it does end, or should we all pick up Madden next year. Some people are thinking about doing it. Some people aren't even. Half the group still don't even have Xbox Ones, so we'll kind of see where this goes. It might be kind of the end of kind of a semi-gathering of...
I don't know. I think as long as people still have their 360s, you could stay with the current the current game.
We'll see. We'll see if they keep supporting it.
Yeah.
I also played... I was kind of between games for a while, so I will hop on and look at my games I have downloading, and I noticed The Walking Dead. You could download the first episode of Season 1 for free.
Okay.
I'd never played it, and it had been sitting on my hard drive for probably 2 years. So,
you played on your Xbox or on... Okay.
360, yeah.
Yeah, I've played it on both.
Okay.
Because I think I have the full run, the full season on Steam.
Yeah. I want to say
I don't remember.
Lou maybe has it also on Steam.
Maybe I didn't play it on the PC.
Yeah.
I may have not activated that code.
But I really liked it. It was really neat. It was a different kind of style of game. I think it was a good looking game, or a good enough looking game. It's
very graphic novelish.
Yeah, exactly. It didn't rely so much on aiming or stuff like that. It was
right. Every now and then there was it would just be randomly time sensitive.
Exactly, which was kind of neat because
exactly,
and it really made those scenes. You're like you fell down. You're trying to stomp this walker back.
Yeah,
it was just kind of neat because it was really kind of exhilarating. All of a sudden, you really kind of get to feel like, I'm in trouble here. If I don't get this, I'm going to die. So I really enjoyed that, and then was bummed to see when it came to an end. I'm like, well, I want to play more. I don't know if I want to buy any.
Yeah.
And like with the games with Gold program, I think, this might be a prime candidate for them to do free at some point. So
yeah. So hopefully that'll be the
hopefully
case.
That'll happen. I have been finished up Dead Rising 3 on the Xbox One, which is a really great game. I think between that and Forza 5, it's the only Xbox One exclusive games I can think of.
And Titanfall.
Well, Titanfall is on the 360 too, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
But it's really neat. It works really well with Smart Glass. When you have that open, and it actually opens up additional kind of missions and whatnot.
Oh, that's
There's
cool.
Additional things you can do. There are things... So with the Smart Glass open, the game changes, and then there's things you do in the game that affects, stuff on the Smart Glass. So it's really neat how it kind of interacts with each other. So you get these new missions on there of if you go and bring food and drop it in a safe house, now I can call in an airstrike through the Smart Glass. So it's kind of neat.
Oh, that is cool.
New missions, whatnot. It worked really well. You could look up, maps and whatnot, or hints, or... really fun game. I kind of played through it 2 times. I didn't finish the second playthrough, but I wanted to get up to level 50, get that achievement, and max out some of my skills. There was also a vehicle you can only do at level 50 to get that achievement and whatnot. But it was really a lot of fun just mowing down zombies.
Yeah, I never finished 2 on the 360.
Me neither. So I traded it in, and then when I was over at Will's last week, I saw him playing. I'm like, Will, we never get to play co-op on this. How did that never happen?
What'd you trade it in for?
Just Amazon credit.
Oh, okay.
For now.
Yeah.
And then while I was over at Will's, I borrowed Kingdoms of Amalur Reckoning and played a little bit of that. It's kind of a mash between
played it.
Fable and Skyrim. More Fable than Skyrim. Good-looking game. Really long... we were saying like the developer said is like 180 hours for the main quest or something.
Oh, wow.
Like that. Really detailed, a lot of kind of neat customizations you can do with your weapons and whatnot. So really, like Fable, you could really kind of switch between melee and range really quickly.
Yeah.
You could do melee, ranged, magic all together, or you could specialize in certain things.
I think I've played that one.
Yeah. Good looking game, a lot of fun. But it's one of those games that as I play, I think I'd rather be playing Skyrim instead. And that's
No,
the way
I
I felt when
understand.
I was playing
Sure.
Fable. I'm like, oh, this is cool, but I want to play Skyrim now.
Yeah. What was that other one? The really like poorly made one. There's
Two Worlds?
Two Worlds, yeah.
Weather. Bandits.
It was entertaining.
Yeah. So I don't know if I'm going to if I'll keep playing it or whatnot. 'Cause, I'm looking for Xbox One games, and I'll go and look at my wish list on Amazon. Like, oh, still the fall. All right.
Yeah, isn't there something coming out in like next month in August? It seems like there was an August title.
Madden's a big title, comes out next month.
No, I meant something that I would have been interested in.
I don't know. I can't think of anything. I don't think I had anything on my list until... And then it's October. It's every week for 5 weeks or something.
We'll be gone in October.
Oh, that's right. Don't have to worry about it.
That's right.
That is right. Jeffrey, what have you been playing?
I just played a little bit of Civ Rev Lightning Round. I think I played two games of that.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
Yeah.
Since I haven't had a whole lot of time to play games, something that I can knock out in a very short amount of time really works for me.
Yeah.
So, and I've played as a couple of different civs. I actually lost whenever I did played as the Russians.
Oh, well, yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds about right.
Yeah. It was like, okay, well, you get extra food from plains. Like, then I forgot that plains weren't grasslands. Like, which...
You need yellow grass, not green grass.
Yellow grass. You get extra food from yellow grass.
Yeah.
Well, if you got it from both, that would make it okay.
Mm-hmm.
That would promote growth in the cities and make it worth it.
Price, rifleman, half
Oh, no.
spies.
You forget the very first one that is oh so helpful, the larger map view.
Yeah.
So for your first, for whatever you're doing when you set up your first city, you can see one extra square in every direction.
So
Who
instead
cares?
of getting to that village, wasting a turn going in the wrong direction, having to spend an extra turn, you get to that village that no one else can get to anyway. So
right,
you get to it one turn sooner, and that's it.
And that's your big bonus there.
Yeah.
Hey, I'd much rather have things like extra movement, auto heal.
Yep.
Those are good things.
Yeah.
More great people.
Yeah.
Starting off with bigger cities like the Chinese do.
Yeah.
So those seem a lot more useful than I can see one extra square.
It's so dumb.
They're a terrible civ.
They are.
Terrible.
Yeah. Looking at my my CivRev Wind Excel spreadsheet, I got an Emperor win with every Civ on every condition. That's 64. And then I have a win of at least Emperor on every one of the scenarios.
Nice.
Yeah. But with just like one Civ.
I wish the game had kept track of those kind of things, because at one point I had all gold busts in the gallery. Then I didn't.
The only thing I'm really missing is when you scroll over to the wonders by age, like the medieval age. I don't have the Colossus or the Colossus or whatever. I'm missing she's like
I've done all those. Of course,
I know I've done them in the past.
Of course, my
Hall
hall
of Glory doesn't show that one, or the the Lighthouse of Alexandria.
Right. The cheap ones, the 50 and 100 and 75 point ones.
Yeah.
Because I think Alexandria's 75.
Yeah.
The Hanging Gardens is one of the cheap ones.
Hanging Garden, that's a good one to get.
Yeah.
But the other ones are, I'd rather build a library and a temple first.
Yeah, for sure. So. All right. Well, I think that about does it for this show. Oh, forgot to mention, it's not really TV or movie related, but the Marvel Universe has changed a couple of their characters.
Oh, that's right.
Now a woman wields Mjolnir, whatever. Thor's hammer has now become Thor. I was under the impression that Thor was the name and not the title. Like God of Thunder was the title. So, like Thor, God of Thunder.
Right.
There's comma in there.
Yeah.
It's a title.
So this should be She-Ra, Goddess of Thunder.
Or whatever.
Something like that.
Whatever. But maybe not, because I think the wording on the hammer is for whoever is worthy to wield this hammer
Shall
it would
do so.
be
Yeah.
be bestowed with the power of Thor. So
Oh,
maybe
okay.
maybe it is a title. I don't know. What's that poor bastard's name that no longer has access to the hammer?
Yeah.
Like in the movie when he didn't have access to the hammer, they still called him Thor.
Yeah, exactly.
There was still
maybe
his
it's
name.
like you still call the president Mr. President when he's no longer president. Like Bill Clinton, you still call him Mr. President,
Former Thor.
or just formerly known as Thor.
Yeah. And then the Falcon became Captain America whenever Captain America lost his super soldierism.
Yeah, I don't.
Does that mean he shrunk back down to little
Scrawny kid.
scrawny kid? I don't know what that means.
I don't know.
Of course, I don't read comic books, so I'm not I'm not familiar with the backstory as to how you can like lose the super soldier serum that has changed you at a genetic level.
Yeah,
Maybe he just loses his strength.
yeah.
I don't know.
And
At any rate,
if we're
they've
talking about
changed.
comic books, we're really burying the lead story. Archie dying from Archie.
I had no idea.
You had no idea, yeah.
Why
Why is this relevant? First of all,
why is that still a thing?
Are you surprised Archie is still published?
Yes.
Yes, I was also. Then Brick told me about this, and something about maybe zombies also. I swear to God. I swear to God. It's ridiculous. Yeah, but Archie apparently dies in like this alternate universe. But, he's going to come back, like Superman. But it's just, it's a publicity stunt, quite frankly, to generate interest.
I'm still
In
not
who,
interested.
I'm not sure.
I'm still not interested.
I'm not interested.
I'm interested in why it's still being published.
Who knew? It's been published all this time.
Wow.
Yeah, amazing.
How about that?
Yeah.
How about that?
But Archie takes a bullet for a friend. No.
Do we have any shows coming back on soon? We're getting close.
Ray Donovan.
That's right.
Ray Donovan.
I may not have seen the finale of that.
Oh, speaking of that, to tie this back into your best supporting actor in a drama. Best actor in a drama series. Oh, best supporting actor. Here we go. Jon Voight, Ray Donovan, Mandy Patinkin, Homeland, Peter Dinklage, Game of Thrones, Aaron Paul, Breaking Bad. Also
Ooh.
a very good lineup. I'm not familiar with the other two shows. But
Downton Abbey, no, I don't know that one. And The Good Wife, I haven't seen that either.
as much as I love Peter Dinklage and Aaron Paul, I think Jon Voight, Ray Donovan might be. Because he is great in Ray Donovan.
Yeah.
Anyway, full circle.
Full circle. All right. Thank you, everybody, for watching and listening. We will see you next week.
Later.
Bye.
Just to live in the past tense, to make believe you were right.